Damn, that's so church-like. Or organ-like, should I say. Wow. That piano. I like it. Like, obviously we had it at the end of the last one, but still nice to hear. The build-up is so beautiful, man. I love really, really beautiful piano pieces, especially in like darker pieces of music. Just brings a whole different like element to your music. Like each song has been so different from each other. It's just amazing to listen to. It keeps itself interesting, which is the most important part of it. Why? That's a cool instrument. I forgot what the hell it's called, but whichever way. We're gonna drop into something. That much I know. Boy, that's sick, man. Whatever sound was underneath his voice then, that was so cool. I love that instrument. The instrument sounds so cool in the background. I really wish I knew what it was called, man. But still. Crazy how one verse can be so masterful, man. Like, you know, just like it has everything. Like, I truly wonder how long it took to compose this entire album. Probably a very long time. Yeah, you are. What's up, everyone? This is how you doing? Yeah, I put it in my Discord that I was streaming it. I don't know if you're part of my Discord, but... Oh man, that's a drop right there. Getting heavier and heavier, man. Went from organ and everything, and then now into proper light darkness once again. That's okay, man, don't worry about it. Yeah, it took me an hour to do the first song. Literally like a straight hour. Man, the pace is slowing down. Like, the further we go through this verse, the more the pace is just slowing. Yeah. I like it. It's given me so many draconian vibes through it too. Especially this song. The song the most so far. Really haunting, man. Almost like ghostly in some ways. Then let's give our first pause, man. Like, this album is hard to pause, man, because you just don't want to stop it. Because it's beautiful. Like, it's just like... It pulls you into it. It makes you just want to appreciate it and just close your eyes and just let the world pass you by. As you're just embracing it. That's the kind of vibe I've had through the entirety of it so far. But still. Movement. I'm asleep in a fog that nothing can cut through. The constant of time standing ever still. Yeah, that makes total sense, man. So, like as in you're slowly trying to move, man, but like it's almost like you're trying to force your movement, knowing that you're asleep in a haze, in a dream, whichever way, man. Like, and then time, like, standing ever still, never moving for you. The water's pristine, the ore, rippling stars, an endless expanse, an imperial mirror. The imperial mirror is like one of heaven, like, you know, like one of like literal heaven, or like of light, or of like light, should we say? What is this light piercing heaven sky? I cannot see. Like, the light piercing is like blinding, but it's also, maybe it's more like a darkness, like, as in, you may be in this place where it's like pristine and there's the stars rippling around you, but you can't move. It's like you're stuck. It's like you're stuck in a haze and a fog, or whichever way you want to go about it. It's almost like we're on the river Styx in some weird ways, man, but still. If only I knew what this weather-worn face would see, I'd have set sail for another shore. These seas, tumultuous and merciless, those sent to guide me only drove me deeper into storms. So yeah, yes, it's an internal, man, that fog everything, the thing, like, inside, it's like a battle inside his own body, inside his own head, man. That makes more sense now, right? And, like, the stars and everything around him is like the whole expanse of consciousness of what he could potentially go to do. Like, the infinite realities that he could potentially go towards. But in reality, like, He's been driven deeper into the storms of his own head, like besetting to defeat, gripped by paralysis. Like paralysis of his own body, of his own inactions, of his own things, wanting to get over those things, to get brighter, to get stronger, to get away from this, pummeled by relentless rains of doubt, despair, despite the weight of it all. I'm not sure if I felt it at all. As I sank like a stone, I feared too much to ask of you, to reach down and pull me in, or to turn away and let me go. Like, yes, a lot of people do. They have no, like, middle ground. They either sink or they swim. Like, a lot of people don't have the, what's the word, like, the capacity to ask for help, especially in guys, because as we grew up, we kind of were like told, man, you have to hold your emotions back. You have to, like, not show much emotion, otherwise you'll be belittled, and you won't. Like, imagine if, like, I remember being in school, and any sign of emotion from a guy, like, as in, like, if you cried, or if you felt some way, or he's on the verge of tears, or whichever way, right, it was, seen as weakness. They would give you nicknames for it. They would literally make fun of you for whatever reason. And it's kind of what drives you into that storm, into that darkness, until you figure a way out to battle your own demons and get through them. And it's interesting. It's very, 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 very deep. And yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, I see we're going into loneliness now. Into only needing myself. I love how light the drums feel here. Like as if they're kind of being cast away in their own right, in their own sense. I love whenever the vocals come in, the drums slow down about this much. Like it's noticeable but not really noticeable. It's little slight changes that I'm noticing. Oh wow, it's like the hope is coming back. Like the guitars are really flowing like that. Like that switch, it was instant. Like the hope is kind of coming back into everything. Like it's building back up. We went into like a more darker, into that loneliness, but now we're coming back upwards from it. It's like pure feelings within the music itself. Never mind vocals and lyrics. That's cool, man. We're going back over the verse again. One more powerfully, obviously. Yeah, totally. I totally get that, man. I totally feel where this whole song is coming from, man. It's like, still, leave me here. I'm the only one I trust, not to deepen these wounds. Cast me adrift, I'm safer alone. I can guide myself home wherever that may be. So yeah, is at the point where he's giving up on people, he's giving up on relationships and everything else, and he just wants to have his own company, his own thoughts, his own freedoms. That's like me right now, to be fair. I don't really like having people around that much. I had people do bad shit who have done stuff to hurt and lots of other stuff, man. It just made me not want people around as much anymore. Like, obviously, I have like a partner and other stuff like that, man, but in terms of like from like friends and acquaintances, like I just can't really do it anymore. It's not something I'm capable of doing anymore. Like, I just can't bring myself to trust people again. Like, in that sense, if that makes sense. So yeah, no, I totally get it. But sometimes, I guess, like, you kind of have to. Like, but if you let that go down into your darkness and let that take you over, that's another bad thing too, though. Like, there's one thing that preferring your own company, and then there's another thing entirely about about the other course of actions that could come from that. So, leave me here. I'm the only one. Oh no, I completely just read that, but still. Why am I so numb to the terrors I've seen, to the pains I've felt, to the fears I've known? Countless in number they are, and they say they are my strength. But each scar is a weight, pulling me further. Each make me sink. It's true. They do, man. Because scars are that thing, man. Like, each bad thing that happens to you drags you down a bit further into that darkness, into that mentality, whichever way you want to go about it. And even though we've been hurt countless times, even though we've been hurt in so many different ways, it doesn't matter, because we have to keep going. We have to keep picking ourselves back up, no matter how far we do sink. With each bad thing that happens, we do need to still function. We still need to do like be a part of society in a sense, man, to at least be around, to be there, to do what we want to do, to achieve, to dream, and all of those things in between, which is beautiful and dark and messed up, but that's the way it is, man. Not just for me, not just for the person who wrote this, but for so many people, man. This whole album is just pure emotion, and it's amazing and crazy, and probably like best album I've heard in a long time. So like, there's nothing bad about this. I can't even begin to imagine what anybody would hate about this. But I guess if you're not used to like the atmospheric black metal stuff, if you're not used to the darkness of like how it can sound, but the pure emotion is absolutely haunting. But still. Let's see, man, where are we going from here? We're going upwards or downwards. That's the only two ways we could really go, man, I think. Oh, my neck is sore already. But it's okay. And there we go, now we're building. I love how, like, heavenly that sounds stuff. I like that he can just throw in heavenly stuff whenever he feels like it, and it just works. The composition is just masterful. There's so much about this one. So much. And so much just for one reaction. This is just my first time, man, so imagine after 10 or 20 lessons. What's up, sexy lady? Hey there. I love how the music just tells such a crazy story, man. Like, there's not even need for words, but the words help. That makes sense. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I know. Yeah, music. I love this style of music. It's the most emotional piece of music I've heard in such a long time. Welcome back, man. Hey, I thought you was gone for the whole, You just gone for the whole show. Yeah, her or Joseph is the one who wrote this. If you guys did not know. Oh, that's awesome. It was worth the suffering. Why that change up with the drums there? I like it. I know it. It's cool. I'm breaking my neck here, so it's fine. Okay. Oh man. Hear that vocal cracking though, man, down. That's crazy. Yeah, you can tell. And that's the most rawest piece of emotion I've heard in this whole thing, man. And damn. You literally heard your voice crack under that, man. It's not safe for your voice to do that, but still. I can imagine, man. Oh, that's cool. I like that. It's almost like the light at the end of the tunnel, with that little bit of guitar coming through. That makes any kind of sense. I'm just talking music, I'm not even talking lyrically right now. Yeah, I can tell. It comes across very well. Yeah, like atmospheric music is probably my favourite of all the music styles. I just have to be in the right mood to listen to it. Otherwise it doesn't quite work, but... Is it invalid? Ah shit, I'll fix it. Those violins, man. I think it's a violin. No, it's not, it's something else. It's, I can't think of it for it. What is it? What knows, mate? Viola, that's it. I'm totally not a music theory person, but very much a passion person. That is quite the journey we've been on, man. Those keys remind me of death coming in me just a little bit. Very different to that song, but the way the keys come in, it's kind of like, you know, when we go through the darkness and we come out on the other side, and we just end with the keys coming through. Kind of like that. They're almost like the rest in peace, you can rest now, you can get out of your way, you're finally free of that darkness, that whatever's holding you back. Yeah, like, I bet it is, but honestly, the keys throughout this whole album have been truly, like, amazing. Isn't it amazing how fast 22 minutes just flies by, man? Damn. But still, where did I go to? That is the question. I got so lost into the music, I completely forgot where I was. We did that. We did that already. There we go. Forlorn visions of bygone times are lost in the swell. Reality's rawness is lost to the days. Bring me sleep. So yeah, like, reality is too much when it's lost to the fog, to the days, to everything else, and you're kind of just swimming in a void of your own making. You are lost, but hey, I found my own place in this maladjusted world we call our home. I hid in the stars, I conjured a world, I made my escape. You cannot hurt me here. So, like we all do, those of us who are bullied, or those of us who have gone through a lot of bad things in our lives, man, like, we make worlds in our head, we have places we can go, it doesn't really matter. Like, we can be looking straight at you, but in our minds just be 1,000 more, and be 1,000 miles away, and just absolutely just have that place where we're safe, where we don't have to endure the way of the world, where we can finally be a little bit free. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like you said, it's that world we make in our head that we all have. Well, those of us who work in that sense, not everybody can do that. Like, having an entire world in your head is something only mostly creative people have, generally speaking. Like, I've spoken to a lot of people who don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about it, but I don't know, that's neither here nor there, man, but I totally understand. Then I longed for the same issue, but I'm at peace now. Whatever story they tell of me, through the lens of misjudgment, means nothing to me here. With doors wide open, come find me. So yeah, as in, if you can penetrate my world, if you can penetrate my whole being, then maybe you'll be able to find me. Maybe you'll bring me back from this world. Maybe I can finally get out of the pain, get out of the darkness, get out of everything else that I felt during this, that the world is putting 1,000 loads onto my shoulders, but maybe, just maybe, something or somebody will come to take that load away, to allow me to restore my humanity just a little bit, ease my pains a little bit, ease everything just that little bit, just to allow me to exist a little bit more. And yeah, interesting. Crazy though, like proper deep, proper dark, and bright at the end, where you finally at peace, and beautiful, man. Just straight beauty. Like, there wasn't much breakdown in this. There was like a fair bit, only probably about like 12 minutes of breakdown, but from what I did, like, the music spoke more than the lyrics, if that makes any kind of sense, man. Like, the music itself just speaks 1,000 words more than what the lyrics actually do. The lyrics are kind of a guide, and then the music just does the rest. And that's what this does amazingly. Like, there's some bands that do amazing lyrics and okay music, and some bands that do amazing music but okay lyrics, but this does both. This has a perfect blend of everything, like, coming together and just smushing it all together perfectly. Probably took years upon years upon years upon years to put this together, from what I can tell, because it's masterful. But still, we got the last song to go, man, so